You know, I did that entire video reacting to the reveals from PulseCon, and little did I know that as that was literally happening, they launched Last Figure Standing. So I voted, and I'm going to tell you what I voted for. Last Figure Standing is a fan poll to work out, you know, kind of our ultimate wish list for what Hasbro should add to the vintage collection. I tend not to put too much thought into my list because, first of all, I'm just one person. How the heck, I mean, I don't have a lot of voting power here. And also because it's sort of just like, what is the thing that's most important to me at any given moment. I believe if you want to join in, you have until this Friday, September 20th. So this video is gonna have to come out hot. It's gonna have to happen this week or not happen at all. But here are my choices real quick, and you can tell me if you think I'm nuts in the comments. Choice number one, this has been true for most of these polls for the last several years. Ben Solo on Exegol. We want our sweet little boy in his sweet little boy sweater with the hole where Rey stabbed him and the blue lightsaber and all that. And if he had shrugging ability, that would be even better. I am generally, obviously, in favor of sequel era figures, especially Rise of Skywalker, which, I mean, we all have our feelings about Rise of Skywalker, but that movie got left in the dust by Hasbro. They were sort of like, oh, that didn't happen. Then I mentioned it just in the very last video. Sintikaz in the Aldani heist outfit, when she comes down the ladder and just shoots that one dude. She's wearing kind of like a green tack suit. It's fantastic. And obviously we've already got Vel. There's Vel right there. So having Vel and Cinta together would be very meaningful. Number three, Kino Loy. Everyone wants Kino Loy, right? I mean, Narkina 5 prisoner, Kino Loy, hero of the rebellion. Probably didn't expect that when he got up to work that day, but that would be a great figure. It's gonna be a lot of Andor. Like I said, I don't really put a lot of thought into these lists, so it's just sort of what's on my mind at the time. And what's on my mind right now? Andor. So I threw Cyril Karn onto that list. I went with the Primor security outfit because it's tailored, and I think that's great. But really, any version of Cyril, whether it's sad at home with his mom moping cereal with bowl of cereal. Did I say cereal and cereal, or did I say Cyril and cereal? Anyway, maybe it's weird brown suit Cyril. Maybe it's counter-revolutionary Cyril from the last episode. Doesn't matter. Cyril is a fantastic character. He should have an action figure. Speaking of fantastic characters that should have an action figure from Andor, the most obvious for TVC, I think he made the poll last year, Luthen Rael. Obviously. I think Luthen Rael is a profoundly safe bet heading into Andor Season 2. I threw him on my list anyway because that's just how much I want that character. One of the best characters in the history of Star Wars. One of the best performances in the history of Star Wars. Now it's time to skip over to the Acolyte. There is one that I never buy Black Series unless I am really in love with the character, and I really want Jecki in the Vintage Collection. I've even bought the retro figure of Jecki, which I'll be unboxing when it arrives in a couple of weeks, because I'm apoplectic at the thought that we're not going to have Jecki in 3 3/4 inch scale. The Hasbro that I love, the Hasbro of the Phantom Menace, the Hasbro of the prequel trilogy, they would obviously have given us all of the characters that we need to complete that duel between the Stranger and Jecki and Soul. I'm realizing now I didn't put the Stranger on my list. Probably because, much like Luthen, I kind of consider him a lock. But maybe that was dumb. Skipping back to Andor real quick, I did throw Bix on the list. Another example, I bought Bix in Black Series. I don't usually buy Black Series, but that, first of all, that's a fantastic piece of sculpting, and I just also think this is one of my favorite costume designs in all of Star Wars. So with it pretty clear that she wasn't coming to 3 3/4 inch, I was all about getting some Bix. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen with Bix in Season 2. Maybe she joins the rebellion. Maybe she becomes a badass. Maybe there's some action figure opportunities for her. I would love to see her in the scale. Speaking of crazy picks for the scale, I did throw Brasso on there, and not just any Brasso. Brasso in his band leader outfit. Brasso with the Marva brick. Because, again, action figure, action moments in Star Wars history. Has it been better than Brasso deciding to use the remains of a dead woman to beat the hell out of fascists? Fantastic. We now reach the end of my list, and I realize that it is true. I did not put the Stranger on there. But I did put Omega twice, because I love Omega, and obviously the Bad Batch has been terribly underrepresented in the vintage collection. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to throw Omega in her season 2 outfit and Omega in her season 3 outfit onto this list, and just like, let's just see what happens. I think if we got any Omega in 3 3/4 inch scale, it would be a freaking miracle. And I'm kind of backdoor hoping that between Omega and Jackie and the cast of Skeleton Crew, Hasbro is going to have no choice but to begin to develop some reusable parts for, you know, children, teens, and tweens that could lead to some of these characters. Like right now, they're kind of sticking with adults, and I got to assume that's a financial decision. But a lot of key characters in Star Wars in the next little while are kids, tweens, teenagers. I think some variation in sort of the sizes of people on the shelf is only going to be good for the overall dynamic. So that's who I voted for. Let me know who you voted for. I'll also put the link to Last Figure Standing's Instagram. If you can't find it, it'll be in the information for this post. And yeah, like I said, this round of voting closes on Friday, and then in a couple weeks' time, you actually get to start ranking people's the democratic outcomes. You know, I love democracy. I love the republic. Bye.